Welcome everyone to Get Real with Morton this month, and I am joined by Ayush Jain, who is one of our new business consultants, looks after bringing on new landlords.
Yeah.
So Ayush, how long have you been at Morton for?
5 years initially, then went to Melbourne for a couple of years, and now back with Morton.
So almost 8 years.
Yeah.
We're very grateful for that. Thank you, Ayush.
My pleasure being here.
He had to go to Melbourne. We weren't happy about that. That's the immigration system for you, actually. I know we don't really want to get into that debate, but I was very cranky at how that system run, which made you have to. Anyway, he's back now and resuming his real estate career with Morton and doing really, really well.
Yes.
Signing up landlords left, right and centre. So we're very happy with that. So today we're going to talk about the 5 great essentials of property management, because things have changed a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. So 30 years ago we started this business. I remember my very first management, and it's a completely different ball game now. In some aspects we are still collecting rent and repairing things, but it's become so much more sophisticated.
Yes.
So I suppose the first thing for us to talk about is the tech.
Yeah.
So how's that changed, and what are the great advances?
A lot of things have changed. Now everything has obviously become digital. Lease signings, ingoing condition reports, everything is done digitally. We also use 360-degree cameras now to do condition reports. Gets the job done faster. You get 360-degree views of the entire property, as well as they're all time-stamped. So you can't really use the condition report from the previous
bummer.
to do it for this one. And it's actually good because tenants, landlords, they're all aware exactly when it was done, and to compare it to the outgoing condition report makes it a lot easier. Now, obviously, we've also got AI.
That is a game changer. It's not perfect.
No, not yet.
No, but I was pretty amazed at what it can actually pick up, and this whole idea of being able to do comparison.
That's excellent. It reduces a lot of time that we had to spend doing that. Which
and a better outcome.
And a better outcome. Plus now tenants, landlords both have their own apps that they can access to manage their portals, which is excellent.
You can be overseas and manage your portfolio.
Anywhere in the world, pretty much, at any time. Everything's on your fingertips. You've got your statements, your condition reports, your leases, everything on your fingertips. You can literally see real time when your tenants paid rent up to.
Everyone likes that.
Yeah, so you always know what's happening with your property.
And we can transfer the money straight away.
Exactly.
That's another big thing, not having to wait for the end of the month. You know, some of the smarts that sits around the tech.
Plus all the maintenance requests, etc. They're all launched on the app from the tenant side. We get a notification, landlords get a notification, so it also helps create that complete transparency between tenant, property managers and landlords, something that used to lack.
One of the things that I think has always been one of the truths in property management is the trick to be good at it is to be proactive as opposed to reactive. That has not changed in 30 years. If you sit around waiting for things to happen, well, before you know it, you are very, very busy and everyone's yelling at you.
I think doing a lot of preventative maintenance is the key to managing a property, as well as to keeping the property in a good condition. I always tell my landlords about 2% of your rental income you should always keep aside for small maintenance issues every year, and just keep upgrading that between tenancies so your property looks fresh. You get the best quality tenants who look after the property as well, and you're never stuck with a large bill at the end of a few years.
I hadn't actually heard that 2% thing. That's a very good idea, because it's like tinkering or doing small things all the time. For landlords, you got to understand there is a lot of rubbish out there, and tenants get very depressed. And if you maintain your property, and to do that, you want to do it a bit at a time so you just don't get those big fat bills.
And we also check in regularly with our tenants, especially at the routine inspections and all. The fact that we do it for new tenancies that start with us, we do it in 3 months' time, and then every 6 months from there. We're constantly checking in to make sure that the property presents well, everything is working fine. If there are any maintenance issues, tenants and landlords can get on top of that, and we ourselves can get on top of that and ensure it's all fixed in time.
And it's definitely more professional, even with the education requirements that are upon us as agents, our obligations under the law. Safety, I suppose, let's talk about that, because the legislation has changed a lot.
There's a lot of new compliances that owners have to do now. Safety has become a big issue, especially smoke alarms need to be maintained by landlords now. Strata just does the check, but owners are responsible for the compliance and the maintenance of it. And there's small changes that do help with the safety of the tenants who are living in the property. And obviously you don't want stuff to get out of hand where something happens to your tenants and you're stuck dealing with a bigger issue. So doing these small checks or following the legislation will ensure that your property is always compliant. You're not stuck with fines that the fair trading might implement at any point. And it's just important. And we do a lot of training at Morton to ensure that we're always staying ahead of the legislation and understanding that better, so we can guide our landlords, because they look at us as the experts for those.
I mean, I sometimes think, I remember when we didn't have the legislation or, wasn't supported with that, there was common sense, is what we called it. And for a landlord, you look after your tenant. That's always been the case. The tenant will look after you.
Yes.
I suppose now, sort of things that we maybe used to do are now legislated. And one of the big ones is pets. I always laugh at that. Whereas, no, they can have pets. It's like they always had pets. Everybody pretended they didn't have it, and then the dog's going out the back door as you came in the front door. So, you might as well. I thought, let's just have pets, but let's put a decent set of rules around it.
It's important as well, because most owners don't understand that pets nowadays are family members to most tenants.
They are.
Yeah.
Yes.
They actually spend a lot on the pets in terms of the toys, the maintenance of the pets, training them, all of that. And most tenants that actually do have pets do look after the property even better than tenants that sometimes don't have pets.
True.
Because they do understand what the legislation entails from a tenant's responsibility as well.
And they're a responsible pet person.
Yeah, and they want to look after their pets. It's like their child.
Unless they look after the property.
So they want to give them a clean environment to live in as well.
I think it's important also too, well, not only is this legislation very easily accessible, that's the joys of Google and AI.
Absolutely.
They can find out the law within seconds. They do. So we do have to deal with that. And they sometimes can be a little bit onerous, because certainly expectations have gone up.
Because tenants have access to all this information, they know exactly what the landlords also need to maintain in a property. So again, it's very important for landlords to be across those things, because tomorrow if something goes wrong with your property due to your negligence, tenants will be very quick to take you to NCAT or not stop paying rent and ask for rent reductions and stuff like that, which might not seem like a big thing to some landlords, but when it does happen, it does add up really quickly. And the money that you end up paying out, instead of doing a $115 smoke alarm check versus having an issue with the smoke alarm later, it could be between thousands of dollars.
You can say, though, everyone starts yelling, everyone's losing money. Like everyone. Keeping it calm is very, very important.
Absolutely.
So definitely those expectations. And I suppose the last thing to talk about is it has become a much more relationship-driven, situation where I suppose it was very task-based.
Yes.
And everyone saw it as that. Whereas now, do you spend a lot of time talking to landlords about what they should be buying, investment decisions, areas to buy in?
Yeah, absolutely. I get a lot of my landlords who are looking to purchase a second property coming back and asking, which area would be a good place to invest in? Or
Penrith.
Yeah, I'm looking at this particular property. What's your rental opinion on it? How much you think we could get on rent? I'm looking to refinance, or I'm moving out of my home. Should I look at a different type of mortgage for my property now?
I know it's interesting how you get a lot more questions like that. In the old days, you wouldn't. You said, rent my place, that's what you need to do. But obviously, the financial side of things, and we've had Zin Mortgage on here before, that financial side of it actually is a very important
It is, because with interest rates also fluctuating all the time, and if owners can save a bit of money there, it also helps them to kind of purchase the next property. They might have got some equity in their current property, which they can use to purchase the next one as well.
Are you seeing more investors coming back into the market?
We definitely are seeing more investors coming back, and we're seeing a lot of first home buyers who had purchased a few years ago. Now, because of the interest rates coming down, they are looking to purchase another one, and they are thinking about leasing their properties out as well. So we're seeing a lot of those, and we're seeing a lot of landlords coming to us from other agents because they haven't been either communicated with properly or haven't been given the right advice, or basically in a mess right now, and they need us to clean it up.
Yes, well, we love that. That's exactly what we do, clean it up. So thank you, Ayush. That was very informative, and I think anyone watching that, I think, would get a sense of confidence.
Yes.
So please speak to Ayush if you've got anything that you need to rent. Anyway, this is Get Real with Morton. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next month.